Hi viewers, my name is Bernadette McDonald, and today we're interviewing another adoptee by the name of Denise Bernard. And every journey is different, you know, every perception, every venue, every tool. Some tools are similar, some aren't. So let's get started. And Denise, please feel free to share your journey.
Sure. Thank you very much, Bernadette. It's a pleasure being here today and sharing my journey. Well, I was adopted in Quebec City in 1955 by a couple from New Brunswick who went there because my adopted mom couldn't have any children.
Okay.
So they came to Quebec City, and I was in an orphanage there. And
what was the name of the orphanage?
It was St. Vincent de Paul,
okay,
located in Quebec City. So I'm going to skip forward a bit. I was 13 years old when I found some adoption papers in our home, and I questioned my mother, and then the cat was out of the bag. They had to tell me, yes, you were adopted. I was kind of sad at 13. You're sort of emotional, and I cried, but you know, I cried because I really love my mom and dad, and I was sort of sad that they weren't my parents. I didn't really question who my parents were at that time.
Okay.
So later on, as I grew up, I graduated and went to work on my own. I did start to question, and I talked to my mom, and I said, you know, would you mind if I went searching for my mother? And she said, no, not at all. I would help you as much as I can.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so she told me the only information she had was that they told her my mom was a teacher. And I thought, okay, and my dad? And she said, no, I don't know anything about him. I said, well, that's fine. I can start with that. Mm-hmm. So I took the address that was on the adoption papers, mm-hmm. and I wrote them a nice long letter stating that I'd like to know what information they have in my file. So this was in 1976.
Was there a lot of information on those papers, or was it just little bits and pieces?
There was quite a bit of information. 2 years later, I did get the answer to my letter. It took 2 years, and then they sent me, they told me about my mother's family. She was from a family of 16 children.
Oh, big family.
Big family. And she was around 30 at the time I was born, and her family was from La Bas-du-Fleuve in Quebec, which would be in the Rimouski, Matane, Amqui area of the province of Quebec.
Okay.
And I was a little bit shocked because that's only an hour and a half away from where I live in northern New Brunswick.
Wow.
So I thought, wow, this is great. She's not that far away, right?
Yeah.
And they told me that she was in good health, and I was born healthy. And then they said, for the father's information, they did say a little bit. They said that he was healthy as well, and his trade was an electrician.
Okay.
And that's about it. They did send me as well a little bit of medical information when I was in the hospital, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Just regular baby stuff. Mm-hmm. So I just put all that aside, and I thought, okay, well, I have a little bit of information. So I did start searching on the internet, and don't have a name, you can't find too much.
Well, exactly. And that's the ironic part of the whole journey for a lot of people. If you don't have a name, you have to trust on the DNA or family talk or books, you know?
Yeah, no, I wasn't getting anywhere. So, well,
how long have you been searching for?
Well, it was 40 years went by when my husband said to me, well, why don't you do a DNA test?
Okay.
and at least you'll know your ethnicity. I had thought I was probably French, but I didn't know I said, maybe there's something else in there, right? And that's better than not knowing anything. So I said, sure. So I did it.
So that was your main purpose initially of doing it?
Yeah.
To find out what your...
Yeah. I wasn't thinking that I could find family. I just thought, well, I'll know my ethnicity.
Yeah.
So 8 weeks later, it came back that I'm 100% French. And I thought, wow, that's good. That's what I figured. No surprises.
Yeah.
And so then I started searching the site more, and I thought, what is all this? Cousins. So when I hit the cousins button, there's one that popped up was a second cousin. And I thought, a second cousin sounds pretty close. So I sent him a little email, and he did answer me right away, actually, which I was surprised because I know people that have sent emails and had never received answers.
Yeah, I mean, I've sent emails over the years that still haven't been answered. So
no, that's it. So I was happy about that. So I told him what information I had about my mother, and he said he would contact one of his aunts. I said, okay. So then I waited the next day. His aunt contacted me because I had given him my phone number.
Okay, at this point, did you know which side was the paternal side or maternal side of the bloodline? No, it was just
I had no idea.
cousin.
No. And so when my first cousin called me, I said, I'm searching for my mother. And I said, I'm just wondering if this information that I give you would fall in line with anybody that you know. And so when I gave her the information, sure enough, one of her aunts was born at the same time. She died of cancer in the same year as my mother did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was quite excited about that. So, and she was shocked because nobody in the family thought that my mother had any children.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Pandora's box was opened.
Yes, that's right. But I left it up to her. I said, you contact the family or whoever you want to and see how it goes. I said, I'm happy that I found out who she is. And I said, I'd be super happy if I could have family contact. And so she said she would. So then she got back to me quite soon again. I think it was the same day around supper time, and said that her family was actually, they were very excited with this news. And so they said they wanted to meet me.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
And were you able to meet up with them?
Yes, in November of 2016. It's exactly 40 years since I've been searching.
Wow.
6 sisters from one family came to visit me here in Northern New Brunswick. And we sat for about most of the afternoon chatting, and I didn't have to convince them that I was my mother's daughter because I looked just like her. Yes, I have a picture. I don't know if you can see it.
I need you to raise it just a little bit.
There.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
I can absolutely see the familiarity. Yes.
Yeah.
Very high
So,
genes.
It was very exciting, an exciting day. They brought me all kinds of things that were my mother's. We talked about my mom. She was an artist. She loved painting. All the things that she loved to do and were very similar to me.
Okay, like what? What did you?
I sew. I love to bake. And she just did the same thing. They brought me one of her recipe books. Like, it was really incredible. I cried and I cried and I cried.
What was it, because of the connection, or was it because of,
Yeah,
of
I had a
having
connection.
something that belonged to your mom?
I had something finally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was nice to know what kind of a woman she was as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, because sometimes you question, do I want to go there? Do I not?
Well, exactly. I mean, you never know. You never know. And
You have to make the jump.
start off with a different perception too, right?
Yeah, exactly. You have to make that jump and just
Have the faith.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So I actually had another surprise on Ancestry come up as well.
Okay.
That there was a woman on there who was, according to the centimorgans that they measure our DNA with, my half sister. So I searched for her for quite a while through email, but I didn't get any answers.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2018, I did get a response from her.
Wow. How long had the email waited for her to reply?
2 years.
Oh, wow.
I kept, every 3 months, I kept sending email. Yeah, I kept sending it. And so it took 2 years. So anybody that's searching, please have patience. Please don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep trying. And I guess it was always in the back of my mind that she has to be somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I got to meet her. She's a lovely woman. She was quite shocked that she had a younger sister.
Mm-hmm.
And
can I ask you what your first question to her was?
yes, I said that I have discovered that we are sisters. And I said, well, what do you think of that? And she was a bit in shock.
No doubt, no doubt.
And she told me she didn't have any siblings. So she was very pleased she had a little sister. There's 7 years difference in our ages.
Looking back, is there anything that you wish you had asked at that time, or something you did ask and wish you hadn't?
No, we got on great from the first, and we're still in contact almost every day. And yeah,
that's beautiful. The communication was wide open.
Yeah, and one thing I will say, I complain sometimes that 40 years is long, but my cousins put it in a really good way when they said, had you found your mother a generation earlier,
Mm-hmm.
it would not have went this easy.
Exactly.
Because our generation is more acceptable
Mm-hmm.
to these things that happened in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
That was just wrong.
Well,
Families
exactly.
were so strict back then, and my mother's family was Catholic. She had 2 brothers and a sister who was a nun, so this would have devastated her family had they found out. So I took that to heart, and I thought that makes sense.
Exactly.
Everything has a time, and my time was in 2016. It wasn't in 1976. So.
Well, that's like me. My story evolves around the era of 1960.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, some things still come to play.
Yeah. Oh yes, yeah.
But not very many. And I think a lot of people need to understand the different eras.
Yeah.
There's different tools. There's different technology. There's more awareness.
Mm-hmm.
I think, which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
not everybody
that's right.
accepts it. Not everybody understands it, and there are some people who personally really don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
They live their life, and they're happy with the way their life is going, and don't want the disruption.
Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes it comes with some resistance, unfortunately.
Yes, that's true.
There's a lot of absolutely beautiful stories out there, reunions and gatherings, and compare to each other, like,
yes,
I've got this and you've got that, and
that's right.
This, which is, I think, is beautiful.
Yeah, my sister came to Quebec City. That's where we met. I went to Quebec City and she came up from the States. And we went to all the places the cousins brought us everywhere, where my mother used to stay. We went to the graveyard where she's buried, and I got a lot of healing on this trip. We were together for a few days, and my heart was always wondering, who am I, Who am I? And now today I can say, I'm a Gagne. And it's wonderful to be able to say that. And peace came to me when I was at my mother's grave, and I was able to finally look down and say, okay, I know I can't see you physically. I know you're here, and I love you, and I don't have any animosity against you. And we're just here to make this day special that we found you finally. Beautiful.
Were you baptized at some point?
Yes, I was baptized twice, actually. I was baptized at the orphanage. Okay. And then I was rebaptized after with my adoptive parents.
Okay, so what's your real name?
Well, I was born, the name that they gave me when I was born was Marie Antonie Marcoux.
Okay, and who gave you that name? The nuns?
The nuns gave me that name.
Okay.
Yeah, so my adoptive parents renamed me Marie Denise Arsenault, so they didn't keep any of that. I don't know where that name came from. They told my mother it was just fictitious, so who knows?
I've heard many people that the nuns just look at a child and they go, okay, they look like gay.
Yeah.
And, so forth. So.
Yes, and I've heard some that, the mother actually got to name her child, which I think would be rather nice, but.
My birth mother apparently got to name my adopted sister.
Okay.
So whether she still obtains that name, because I'm still on my search.
Yeah.
I don't know, right? So.
Yeah.
But yeah, all these stories are all, joining in the community.
That's right. Yeah. And we're all here to help each other, exactly. In any way that I can help. I have a few Facebook friends who I've been able to help on their journey. I actually helped one lady whose father was searching, and we found 2 sisters for him. Just by doing a Google search.
Wow.
I know.
So what different tools, when you're searching for somebody, what tools do you find as a searcher are an asset?
Well, definitely the sites, the DNA sites like Ancestry and the other ones. Besides that, I don't have anything particular like on my computer that I can search with, but you can really get a lot in there because there's a lot of tools in there that you can use.
Have you ever paid for somebody to search for you?
Nope. I've never paid. I thought about it, but I didn't have the money, so I said no.
But you know what? There's so many free availabilities out there. Anything else that you would like to add that you might feel is important for our listeners or viewers to help in their search?
I guess don't give up. Try to have patience because it takes, the system is really slow right now. So you probably won't get answers right away, but never give up because there's always hope, and you have to get your DNA done.
Absolutely. And it doesn't matter which facility, whether you do Ancestry, 23andMe, like whatever you choose.
That's right.
That's the starting point.
That's right.
All rolling.
That's right.
So it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you.
Well, thank you, Bernadette.
Hopefully to see you next year at the AACDQ big event happening.
Yes, I heard all about it. I have to talk with my husband. We're hopefully going to be there.
Well, I look forward to hopefully seeing you and meeting you physically one day. And have yourself a lovely evening.
Thank you very much, Bernadette.
You're welcome. Bye for now.